Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream and welcome to all your latest Chelsea transfer news. Big up to everyone that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing the likes, subscribe if you're new around here, all of that good stuff, guys. And as always, get your thoughts in the chat. And we've got a packed show, people. Lots going on. Chelsea have begun talks for Jorrel Hato over a possible move for the Ajax star, but Arsenal are also interested. We've got the latest on interest as well in Real Betis winger Jesus Rodriguez, with the Daily Mail claiming Chelsea have fallen in love with the Spain under-21 international. We've also got the latest on Nico Williams, and he keeps getting mentioned with Chelsea. And of course, we have updates on Mike Maignan, Jamie Gittins, amongst everything else as well. But before we get into it, guys, just a quick reminder, as always, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Make sure you are looking fresh in the new Chelsea home shirt. Affordable prices, good quality. Get whatever name or number on the back that you want. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Now, let's get into the show, people. Let's say hello to a few of you, and then we're going to get cracking. Yes, big up, brother. Big up, bro. Yeah, supposedly so. Obsessed with teenage. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. You can't deny it, chat. You can't deny it. This does seem to be the thing right now. Will we ever sign a man ever again? Who knows? Who knows? It's possible. It's definitely possible. But yeah. I don't know if it's going to be happening anytime soon, chat. I don't know if it's going to be happening anytime soon. Yes, big up, bro. Hope you're doing well. But let's get into the first bit of news then, and that is some updates on the pursuit of Jerel Hato, because Chelsea and Arsenal have started making some calls for Ajax left-back Jerel Hato. Now, Chelsea are in desperate need of backup for Marc Cucurella, and they're also looking for another centre-back. Now, Jerel Hato is a name that's been mentioned multiple times. You know, he's played over 100 games for Ajax despite just being 19. He fits the system perfectly for Enzo Maresca. He's a left-back, but he can also play centre-back, so he'll be comfortable tucking in as a left centre-back if we invert from the right-hand side. In terms of price, there's not really been anything mentioned in terms of price. Some reports have suggested potentially Hato could be available for around 55 million euros. So again, we are looking at that 40 to 45 million pound mark for him. And the left back market is not good, chat. It's not good. When you look across world football at just left backs in general, there's not that many decent ones out there. There's not that many decent ones out there in terms of left backs in world football. There's a lot to be desired in the left back market at the moment. So Hato is an obvious one. He's probably one of the standouts on the market itself. But Arsenal are also interested, and we do need to move quickly if we are going to complete a move for him. Obviously, there was previous interest from Liverpool, but it looks like Liverpool are very much going down the Milos Kerkez route from Bournemouth instead. So you can probably rule them out of the race for him. You know, one team less in the race. I mean, unless the Kerkez deal falls through for whatever reason. But yeah, it looks like it's between Chelsea and Arsenal right now for Jerel Hato. And you'd like to think that he would join over us over Arsenal. I'm thankful we have Cucurella with this current left back market. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the left back market's not good. I mean, Theo Hernandez is going to go to Atletico Madrid. But yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to think what other decent left backs there are. Obviously, Nuno Mendes is absolutely outstanding at Paris Saint-Germain, but obviously he's untouchable. No one's going to be signing him. So, I mean, look, Nuno Mendes for me is the best left back in the world right now. And then you're probably looking at number 2, Marc Cucurella. And then other left backs, you are struggling big time. You are absolutely struggling. So yeah, this is a deal that if we can do it, then let's just crack on and get this deal done. Let's crack on and get this deal done. Yeah, big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, again, you know, this is part of the appeal as well. Predominantly a left back that can also play centre back. So yeah, there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of promise there, but there's also a lot of experience there already, despite his young age. So, I mean, I don't know. We know that Chelsea are looking for a centre back, right? With the news that Mamadou Sarr has been signed for the first team squad, I wonder whether Jorrel Hato would end up, if he does sign, will end up being that signing at centre back, even though it's predominantly a left back. I wonder if they're just looking for, they might use him as like a filler option at left back, and maybe Mamadou Sarr was the signing, and we're not going to go for a Mark Guehi, or we're not going to go for a Jared Branthwaite, because it's the same three names that constantly get mentioned all the time. Now, I'm not saying that there's not other names that are in the back that we might be working on, but just aren't out there publicly. That absolutely could be the case. But the same three names that are always mentioned are Hato, Branthwaite, and Guehi. Now, it seems that Branthwaite, a deal is not going to happen. It seems like we're being priced out by Everton at this point in time. That's what seems to be the case. It seems that we're being priced out by Everton for Branthwaite. Guehi, there's been literally next to no updates on him at all recently. You would expect some sort of situation to develop with him in the coming days and weeks, because he's got a year left on his he's into the final year of his contract, and Palace need to decide whether they want to cash in or whether they want to keep him for a season, try and convince him to sign a new deal, and run the gamble that he might leave on a free. Those are the things that we need to look at. Mark Guehi and Hato will be the defensive additions. I don't know if we'll get two. I mean, I wonder if it'll just be Hato. But yeah, look, I think we know that Disasi's leaving. We know that Disasi's leaving. We know that Renato Vega's going to leave. Whether Badia Shiel ends up leaving or not, it's difficult to tell. I think if the right offer came in, they would absolutely be open to him leaving, and they would obviously let him leave. Chalobah as well. The club aren't going to stand in Chalobah's way if a decent offer comes in and he wants to leave. But I don't get the impression that Chalobah is interested in leaving at all. So Hato ticks all the boxes for Chelsea. All the boxes for Chelsea. All the boxes for Chelsea in terms of their recruitment model, in terms of age, in terms of versatility, in terms of profile. Like, he would be the classic Chelsea signing under Clearlake. He literally ticks all the boxes. Literally ticks all the boxes. Bro, we're not getting Branthwaite. We're not getting Branthwaite. That's not going to happen. Everton have definitely priced us out of a move, and we're not going to be going for him. We're not going to be going for him. He's too expensive. And the links were quite loose anyway. The links were quite loose with Branthwaite. There was never anything concrete. Yes, his name was mentioned, and yes, Chelsea had looked into signing him, but ultimately, yeah, those were loose links, chat. Loose links. By the way, keep smashing the likes and keep subscribing if you're new around here as well. No, they won't. No, they won't. I don't think they'll freeze him out again. But we know that Napoli are interested, and we know that Chelsea reportedly aren't actively looking to sell Chalobah, but they won't stand in his way if a good offer comes in. But I suspect that Chalobah wants to stay and fight for his place, and that is absolutely what he should do. Absolutely. Yeah, I would say it is as well. And if those two were to end up being the signings, I think that's very, very good business. If that ends up being the case, very, very good business. Bro, it always happens. It always happens. There's always a load of Guehi haters in the chat. A load of Guehi haters. Always a load of Guehi haters in the chat, because I don't know why. I don't know why, but there always are. Always are. But for me, Gurhey's better than Branthwaite. Gurhey is better than Branthwaite for sure, in my opinion. People's opinions will be different, but Gurhey for me is better than Branthwaite. He's achieved way more. And in a day and age where English centre-backs, there's not the best crop, the fact that Branthwaite don't get in the squad goes to tell you everything. Yeah, I think at least 3 centre-backs will leave. 3 centre-backs will probably leave. I mean, what are we saying with... I mean, look, we desperately need a backup to Cucurella. And so Hato, I think, would tick those boxes nicely. He'd tick those boxes nicely, for sure. But yeah, progress is getting there. We started making some calls for Hato, which is the latest update. Not really an update we've had much of recently. And yeah, look, Gurhey and Hato would be, yeah, they would be 2 very good signings. They would be 2 very good signings. But do I have the confidence in these directors, in these negotiators, chat, to get these deals over the line? No, I absolutely don't. I absolutely don't. I absolutely don't. Yeah, Gurhey and Colwell, or Gurhey and Trev, or Gurhey and Fofana. To be honest, if Wesley Fofana's fit and can stay fit, Mark Gurhey and Wesley Fofana would be a very, very good partnership for Chelsea. Very good partnership for Chelsea. Very, very good for Chelsea. Get rid of Badiashile and keep Chalobah. Yeah, look, I suspect Chalobah will stay. If I had to have a guess right now, chap, I think Vega, Disasi, Badiashile, those 3 leave, and Chalobah is a question mark. I absolutely don't want him to leave, but Chalobah's a question mark really based on what the club decide to do with him. Chalobah's a question mark purely based on what the club decide to do. I think next season, the centre-back options will be Fofana, Colwell, Chalobah, Tosin, and plus 1 that we sign. You know, that's what I suspect will happen. I don't even mind having a Mark Gurhey. I don't mind a Mark Gurhey coming in or whatever. That's fine by me. I'm good with a Mark Gurhey coming. I mean, Mamadou Sarr's going to be there as well, isn't it? I'm not sure. This is the thing. Is Sarr going to be loaned out? Because if Sarr comes in, he's going to be part of the squad. And then it's like, well, do you actually need another centre-back? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. I mean, it's a tricky one, chat. It is a tricky one. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to predict. It's absolutely hard to predict. But I would be more inclined to move towards the side of the side of, actually, do you know what? Maybe he is gonna. Maybe it will just be Hato coming. Bro, Fofana's not leaving. Fofana's absolutely not leaving. Chelsea count on Fofana as a really important part of the project, as an important top-level centre-back. But I would agree, excuse me, chap, that this is Fofana's last chance. This is Fofana's last chance. If next season he's constantly getting injured again and he can't stay fit, then yeah, we're banging trouble. We are banging trouble. We are banging trouble if that is the case. If he can't agree, sorry, not if he can't agree, if he can't stay fit, then yeah, we're in trouble, chat. If he can't stay fit, we are absolutely in trouble, because that would be the end for him. That would be the end for him. Yeah, Chalobah, Tosin, Gurhey, Levi, Sarr, and Fofana. I don't think we need 6. We don't need 6 centre-backs. I could see a situation, right? If Gurhey signs and Sarr's been signed for the first team, I could see a situation where they look to cash in on Tosin. And I actually think it could be Chalobah. If we sign Mark, this is purely based on signing Mark Gurhey. So it would be Chalobah, Gurhey, Colwell, Sarr, and Fofana, and you sell Disasi, Tosin, Badiashile, and Vega. I can easily see those things happening. Easily see that happening if Mark Guehi arrives. I've got no issue, by the way, with Tosin being sold if a decent offer comes in for him and it enables us to bring Mark Guehi through the door. I like Tosin as well, but at the end of the day, if decent money comes in and we can upgrade in that position, then we've absolutely got to be taking it. We've absolutely got to be taking it if that's the situation. Chat, we're 6 likes away from 50. Keep smashing that like button. Run it up, and subscribe if you are new round here as well. Subscribe if you're new round here as well, chat. But again, it's not about the money with Trev. It's about, ultimately, it's down to the player. Chelsea would accept 40 or 50 million for Trev. Of course they would. But ultimately, like with every deal, it's irrelevant if a fee's agreed, because it's got to come down to the player wanting the move. You can agree fees, but if the player don't want the move's not happening. It's as simple as that, guys. The move is not happening if the player doesn't agree to it or if the player doesn't want it. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. Yes. Yeah, I think if he stays as a 4th or 5th choice centre-back, no problem. But if an offer comes in for Tosin, 15, 20 million pounds, off a year, make 15 to 20 million pounds profit off one season of Tosin being here, I think you take it and you look to move him on, ultimately. I know that, he's done reasonably well in games that he's played, and he's good around the changing room and the training ground and that, but ultimately we can absolutely upgrade on him. We can absolutely upgrade on him. Absolutely, we can upgrade on him. So yeah, we should. We should. Oh yeah, bro. He won't be sold. He'll go on loan. Ansel Mino will 100% be loaned out, and then we and then we go from there. But yeah, Ansel Mino will be loaned out, chat, for sure. Yeah, he's not playing. Thing is, I honestly think Trevor's proven he's good enough to start for Chelsea. Is he good enough to start on a consistent basis? That's the major question. Is he good enough to start on a consistent basis? That's the big thing, chat. That's the big thing, chat. That is the big thing. Yes, big up, brother. Hater went joining us, watching join Arsenal. Yeah, I hope so. I hope he does join us, brother. But yeah, I hear you on that it could be a bit of a tricky one for us if Arsenal genuinely get serious in the market for him. Well, look, Amugu and Paez are both definitely going Strasbourg, which leaves one more spot open for a Strasbourg loan, which could be Ansel Mino. Could be someone else. Yes, all good, brother. All good. I'm all good. Yeah, Felix on the transfer list as well. Not surprised. But, bro, Arsenal love signing defenders. But the fact we've got Champions League football now that we can offer, is he more likely to play more games at Arsenal than he is at Chelsea? I mean, who are Arsenal playing at left back? Lewis Skelly? I mean, they could go Calafiori and Hato at left back and move Lewis Skelly into midfield. I suspect he's more likely to get minutes. He's more likely to get minutes at Chelsea than he is at Arsenal, chat. That's what I reckon. Yeah, Napoli do want Trev, but ultimately it's going to... A Chalobah departure this summer, chat, is really going to come down to how much he wants to move. It's going to come down to whether he actually wants to leave Chelsea. If he wants to leave Chelsea, then a move is likely. But I don't get the impression at all that Trev wants to leave Chelsea. Trev will stay, fight for his place, and as always, like he does every single time, he will prove the doubters and he will prove the haters wrong, because that is what he does. That is what he does, chat. He proves the haters wrong. He will prove the haters wrong, like he does every time. Bro, you don't speak for all Chelsea fans. If you don't want Chalobah, that's absolutely fine. But Trevor Chalobah has proven time and time again he is more than good enough to be part of the squad at Chelsea. More than good enough. I'm not saying that he should be starting every week, but he is more than good enough to be a squad player at Chelsea and contribute significantly over the course of a season. If you don't think that's the case, then that's fair enough. But I would question what you're watching when you look at Trev to suggest that you don't think he's good enough to be in the Chelsea squad. The game against Forest, he went for Tosin because he went with height to deal with Chris Wood. That's why he went with him. Trev started the Conference League final. Crunch game. Yeah, okay, he didn't start against Forest, but as I said, he went with Tosin for the height factor to better try and combat Chris Wood. I mean, look, every single player makes mistakes, by the way, chat. Every single player makes mistakes. I mean, look, I don't think, by the way, I'm not sure Donnarumma is on the market. He will more than likely sign a new deal at PSG. And even if he was on the market, right, chat, A, we're not spending 40 million euros. And B, even if we did agree a fee, do you honestly think Chelsea are paying Donnarumma his wages that he wants? Nah, get out of it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Brody, we'll get into this in a sec, by the way. But Chelsea will only go back in for Mike Maignan this summer if AC Milan drop their price. That's the only way Chelsea are going back in for him this summer. Ben Jacobs said it yesterday. Chelsea will only go back in for Maignan this summer if the price drops. That is the only way they will go back in for him. So if the price don't drop, they're not going back in for him. That's the only way. Yeah, I think so. He's not in the squad for the Club World Cup. I mean, that for me is one that looks almost certain. That's the one that looks almost certain. But yeah, but ultimately, chat, that's the latest on Jorrel Hato. Contact has started to be made, and it looks like it's between Chelsea and Arsenal for the left back at this point in time. But nothing advanced right now. But initial contacts and talks have begun. So let's wait and see how that one progresses. But let's move away from Jorrel Hato, chat, because we're going to move on to wingers now. We are going to move on to wingers, chat. And we've got a bit to cover here because we had a report from Mail Sport yesterday. I love this terminology that journalists use, right? Chelsea have fallen in love with Jesus Rodriguez and are hopeful of landing the winger this summer. Fans will be able to see his development in real time at the under-21 Euros, which coincidentally starts today. Now, Rodriguez made his debut for Betis this year, back in October. He's had a bit of a breakout season in La Liga in terms of establishing himself in the first team. Actually, he came on as a sub in the second half in the Conference League final, and I had absolutely no idea. I had absolutely no idea who he was on the pitch, and it completely passed over me that he'd actually come on. I don't think he particularly did very much. He didn't come on. He didn't come on and do anything, but he did play in that Conference League final. Now, this is a young player. He's raw. He's got lots of ability. Textbook, absolute textbook Clear Lake signing. No doubt about it. This is a textbook. This would be a textbook Clear Lake signing. Kieran Gill adding that Chelsea are admirers of Rodriguez, the 19-year-old winger, and he's set to start for Spain at the under-21 Euros. Jerel Hato, I think, is also at the under-21 Euros, as is Giovanni Quenda. So we've got Giovanni Quenda's at the 21 Euros, and then Hato is there as well, and Rodriguez. So one future Chelsea player and potentially two future Chelsea players all in action at the under-21 Euros this summer. Now, I don't know an awful lot about Rodriguez. I know that he's 19. I know that he plays as a left winger. That is what Chelsea are looking for. Other than that, chat, I mean, some reports have suggested he would cost between 35 to 40 million pounds. He's got, I think, 3 or 4 years left on his current contract. Oh yes, England's first match today, isn't it? He didn't play a single minute, did he? He didn't play a single minute for the Spain under-21s yesterday. Fair. No, I didn't realise that he didn't play at all. But yeah, look, Rodriguez, I'm just looking at some stats now. Rodriguez is a good dribbler. Only in La Liga last season, only Yamal and Vinicius Jr. had more successful dribbles per 90 in La Liga than Rodriguez. So this kid is clearly a good dribbler, and that's what that's what Chelsea are clearly targeting. They clearly want a good dribbler, someone who's a good ball carrier. This is exactly what Chelsea are looking for, chat. Exactly what Chelsea are looking for. Is this kind of profile of player. I'm not saying that he's the right profile or whatever, but we're definitely, I mean, he's the biggest name or whatever, but this is definitely the one we're looking for. He can play both sides. You know, he's got good pace, good dribbling, ball control. And there's obviously a lot of potential there. And if we bring this up, and again, it just goes to show, and again, this is only from under-21 wingers, but that's obviously the age group that we target. Under-21 wingers with the most dribbles per 100 touches in Europe's top 5 leagues. Jamie Gittins with the most, then Yamal, Enciso, Asana Diao, and Rodriguez. So what we're looking at here, Chelsea are potentially targeting 2 players with the most dribbles per 100 touches in Europe's top 5 leagues. So obviously what we're looking, forget the name, right? Obviously what we're looking for in a winger is someone who is obviously an elite level dribbler. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Forget names for a moment right now. That is clearly what we're looking for in the profile of wide player that we are targeting. I mean, Eze's more of a 10 who can play off the left. I'd say he's more of a 10 left wing hybrid. But yeah, absolutely someone that can that we can play. That you know, we're looking for strong dribblers. We're looking for strong dribblers and good ball carriers in the final third. And again, Gittins ticks those boxes, as does Jesus Rodriguez. I've got no idea if Chelsea will make a move for Jesus Rodriguez. Absolutely no idea at all. But clearly he's got elite level dribbling stats. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's quick. I mean, this was his stats from this La Liga season just gone. And by the way, I'm not trying to big this up or anything, but I'm just putting out there what I can find about this guy. So he's had 22 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists in La Liga. I mean, 2.41 dribbles per 90. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying, look, he could be a future star, but it's another one of them. It's another one of those where you're just like, this guy's not any better than anything we've got. And you're just rolling the dice and taking another gamble on potential. Like if we ended up signing Jesus Rodriguez and Gittins to add to the wide areas this summer, I'd look at it and I'd think, fuck me, that's pretty shit, isn't it? It's not the most exciting. No, bro, I haven't got the Roman book yet. I haven't got the Roman book. I do need to get that. That's on my to-do list. To be honest, chat, after this stream, I'll probably order it. I'll order it from Amazon and get cracking with it. Or I wonder if they've got it on audiobook. I wonder if they've got it on audiobook. That'll be fantastic. Maybe I'll do it on audiobook. Someone in the chat, let me know. Can you get the Roman thing on audiobook? Bro, he's not better than Noni. Let's be real. He's not better than Noni. I don't know why we keep doing this. Bro, Felix is not a wide player. So if you're looking at players to play wide, then yes, Gittins or Rodriguez would be better than Felix because they are actual wingers, whereas Felix is not a winger. I don't know what Felix is. Well, I do know what he is. He's a fraud. But I don't actually know what he is, if we're being totally honest. Are we likely to sell Noni? I don't think so. Although reports have suggested Chelsea would be open to offers for him. But I don't look at it and think, yeah, Chelsea are actively looking to sell Noni. If a massive offer came in and he wanted to leave, it's very similar, isn't it? You know, you'd have a look, wouldn't you? You'd have a look. Of course, you'd have a look. That's basically it. That's basically it. Of course, you'd have a look. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. But there are. I mean, there's still. I mean, yeah. Bro, Felix is terrible. Absolutely terrible. His career has gone downhill since he left Benfica. The guy's done nothing anywhere since he broke through at Benfica. Nothing at Atletico Madrid. Nothing at Barcelona. Nothing at Chelsea. Shite. Honestly. And nothing at AC Milan either. Felix, I don't know how people still prop Felix and still say that Felix is like a good player. He's got talent. He's got ability. Of course he does. He's got zero-end products and constantly under-delivers everywhere that he goes. Everywhere that he goes, he's crap. Bro, no one wants him. Barcelona, they didn't want him. Chelsea don't want him. Atletico Madrid don't want him. AC Milan don't want him. Bro, he didn't win them a La Liga title. Barcelona are going to win La Liga with or without Felix. Let's not pretend that Felix scoring 10 goals for Barcelona won them the title. I mean, this is clutching at straws and like this is deep into scraping the barrel territory. Like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Felix is not it. Felix is not it. Bro, what a ridiculous thing to say. What a ridiculous thing to say. Would Noni... Oh, so because Felix has played for Barcelona, that means that he's amazing. Yeah, yeah, of course. That means he's amazing. But yeah, look, Jesus Rodriguez, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. I've got no idea. I'm not sure if it will happen or not. Based on what? What? Because I think that Felix is bang average, which he is. You know, Felix is absolutely bang average. There's literally no evidence to suggest that Felix is a top level player or that Felix actually contributes to anything any team does. Felix is shite. Come on, he's been terrible for years. He's been terrible for years. He is average. There's no end product. Zero end product with Joao Felix at all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, chat. Nothing whatsoever. As a winger, yeah, he is. Absolutely. As a winger, yes. He is better than Felix. Felix is not a winger, by the way, to start with. So yes, if you're asking me who would I rather play on the left or right-hand side, I would rather play Tyreek George than Joao Felix, because Joao Felix is not a wide player. He's not a wide player. So if you're talking who's a better footballer, who's got more ability, absolutely, Joao Felix has got more ability than Tyreek George. But if you're asking me who would I rather play in the wide area, I would rather play Tyreek George because I'm going to get more from Tyreek George out wide than I am from Joao Felix. Because Joao Felix, there's a few flicks and tricks. Yeah, Felix is gone anyway. Felix is gone. Felix is done. He's out of here. He's being sold. And the fact that the only teams that are interested in Felix are Benfica, Galatasaray, and Saudi, that just goes to show you he's 25 years of age and he's got offers to go back to the Portuguese league or go to Turkey or Saudi. Top class player. Sure. Bro, people talk about fans not going to the games. Makes no difference because if match-going fans don't go, then other people will go. It's simple. You'll never get people not going. Even if regular match-goers don't go, it'll be filled with tourists or whatever. People will always go. But anyway, let's crack on. Let's crack on, chat, because there's more news about Nico Williams. Chelsea will continue talks over Gittins until the end of the month in hopes of reaching an agreement. Garnacho and Williams are on the list if Chelsea decide to walk away. Now, Chelsea will continue talks for the rest of the month. Does that mean if they can't reach an agreement by the end of the month that they're going to walk away from the Jamie Gittins deal? Is that what that means? Because the way that that's worded, to me, sounds like, bro, it's got nothing to do with whether I've played competitive football or not. I don't need to play competitive football to know that Joao Felix is average. That Joao Felix is average. So, what are you basing Felix being good on? Please tell me. He's got ability. He's got talent. Zero end product. Zero. So I don't need to play competitive football to know that Joao Felix is average. But the worrying thing is, right, chat, is it's the same it's the same three. Oh, it's the same excuses. It's the same excuses all the time. Oh, he's not used properly. He's not motivated. He hasn't got the confidence. What is the one? This is the last thing I'm going to say on Felix. What is the one common denominator with Felix, right? Because multiple top clubs and multiple different managers all don't rate him and all don't want him. The one constant throughout Felix's career is himself. Because multiple massive clubs and multiple top managers have not rated him and have not wanted him. And the one constant through all of that is him. But Delap's a good signing. Is he going to be some sort of world beater? I've got absolutely no idea. But for 30 million quid, he is a gamble worth taking. And I think he'll do reasonably well for us. I think he'll do reasonably well. I do. I would have loved Cherky at Chelsea. You know, I've been saying all the time, Cherky, we need to get Cherky to the club. But obviously, he's gone to Man City, and he'll probably be exceptional there. He'll probably do very, very well for them. But yeah, the fact that why does Nico Williams keep getting mentioned? But again, Nico Williams has said he's open to a move to Bayern. Fabrizio saying that Nico Williams is top of Chelsea and Arsenal's lists. I just don't know. But the total package just it's way too much money. Way too much money. If you look at this, right? If you look at this, no, I'd play Cherky on the left or whatever because he can actually play out wide. He can actually play out wide. Bro, we wouldn't have been far better this season. Felix has contributed nothing. Nothing. I don't understand the obsession with Felix. I really don't get it. But anyway. Well, he could, but he's not very good at it. Bro, Sane's gone. Sane's signed for Galatasaray. Job done. 300 bags a week. Signed. 3-year deal. Done. But yeah. By the way, I'm not saying Delap's a world beater, but Delap is a lot better than people think he is. And I don't know how many goals he's going to score next season, but if we create him the opportunities, he's a better finisher than Nico Jackson. If Delap stays fit and we continue to create the same amount of chances that we did last season, then I absolutely think that he could score 15 Premier League goals. I don't see that as being outrageous. I think he could absolutely score 15 Premier League goals next season. But anyway, at the end of the day, chat, it's down to opinions, and people can have their own opinions. But I won't be changing my opinion on Felix unless there's a significant difference in what he does. So this is from Plettenberg. Obviously, Bayern are looking for it. Look, people have spoke about Nico Jackson playing on the left a lot. Given we only have George, Neto, and Madueke as wide options for the Club World Cup, it would maybe make sense to perhaps see Nico Jackson play on the left in the tournament. But ultimately, I think long term, I don't think it's going to change anything. I think we'll continue to see Nico Jackson play down the left. I think we'll continue to see that, chat. We will continue to see that. So yeah, maybe we see it. Maybe we see it a little bit, guys. We're 8 likes away from 100. Keep smashing that like button. Run it up. Run it up. Let's get this to 100 likes. Should be light work, chat. And keep subscribing if you're new rounds here. Road to 20k. Road to 20k. So run it up. Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. But anyway, let's go back to this Nico Williams thing. So apparently, Williams has now signalled to Bayern that he can very well imagine a move to Munich. The release clause is 60 to 65 million euros. Salary demands are around 20 million gross, so 20 million euros before tax. Bayern actively working on the deal. No agreement yet. Bacola remains the target as well, but a transfer is very difficult to realise as PSG are determined to keep him. So the total cost for Nico Williams, we know Chelsea aren't going to pay that. We know they aren't. Yet all reports keep saying Chelsea, Arsenal, Bayern, Nico Williams. But the cost of a deal for Nico Williams is crazy. So what you've basically got to do is you've got to pay the release fee up front. There's no installments for the release clause. And then you've got his annual salary. You've probably got to raise that from 20 million euros to maybe 25, possibly 30. It's mental. Why does I don't understand. Why the fuck does Nico Williams keep getting mentioned with Chelsea? Keeps getting mentioned. I really don't see it happening. If it ends up happening, fair play, and I'll be like, wow, okay, I got that totally wrong. But yeah, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. It is honestly crazy. I don't see it. No, what I mean is I don't understand why we constantly link with him because we're never going to pay that money for him. That's what I'm getting at. We're never going to pay that money for him. That's what I'm referring to. But yeah, with Nico Williams. Nico Williams does. Someone said it in the chat earlier. Nico Williams feels like he's just going to be a Spanish Wilfried Zaha, where he's constantly linked with moves, never leaves, and then when he does leave, he leaves too late in his career, and he's going to end up being in the MLS at like 30 or something. You know, he feels like he's going to be a Spanish Wilfried Zaha. But he is a good player, no doubt about it, and he's one of the best left wingers on the market, 100%, 100% one of the best left wingers on the market. So We wait and see, chat. We wait and see what happens with him. But yeah, I'd be stunned if Chelsea decided to do something for Nico Williams. I'd be stunned. But it's the same as Osimhen. Too much money. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Bro, Nico Williams is one of the best left wingers on the market. Look, ultimately, just because you disagree with me doesn't mean that my talent ID is suspicious. If you disagree, that's fine. But I could easily say, well, yours is suspicious as well because you don't agree with me. Like this can work. This works both ways. Leao's another one, overpriced. But again, I suspect that Leao will probably leave Barcelona. Not Barcelona, sorry, AC Milan this summer. Yeah, and both of them will be leaving. Both of them will be leaving, and they will be off the books, and that will free up a lot of wages and a lot of money, which will be absolutely fantastic. It will be absolutely fantastic. That will free up those wages and that money. But Nico Williams is very good. Bro, it's not up to Maresca. Maresca's not doing the transfers himself. Like, if you've got a problem, take it up with the club. Maresca's not doing the transfers himself. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, if you want the players, you've got to pay the price. Well, look, if you think Maresca's a yes man, fair enough. But yeah, we'll wait and see on the wide areas, chat. We'll wait and see in the wide areas. But the fact that the fact that the Garnacho's name just is not disappearing. Garnacho's name, chat, is not disappearing, and that in itself is a big concern. Big concern that Garnacho's name is not disappearing. Why does his name continue to be linked with us? Why? Bro, no one's paying Osimhen his money. No top club is paying Osimhen his money. And that should tell you a lot, because no one thinks he's worth what he's asking for. The only teams that think he's worth what he's asking for were Al Hilal, and Galatasaray have put together a massive package for him. No top clubs in Europe think he's worth the money. And there's a reason for that, because he's not. He's not worth what he's asking for. And I do agree. To get the top players, you do have to go above and beyond. But there also has to be a certain line in the sand. And the money that Osimhen's asking for, it's not just a Chelsea thing. It's all top clubs in Europe do not think he's worth that money. No one in Europe thinks he's worth that money. And so he's clearly He's asking for too much. He's clearly asking for too much. By the way, chat, keep smashing the like button. We're on 103 likes. So let's get this up to 120 if we can, 130. There's plenty of you in here, so keep smashing the likes and please keep subscribing as well, guys. We're road to 20k, so let's keep it stepping. But yeah, let's move away from wide players and let's move more on to kind of strikers now, chat, because Osimhen, obviously, we know is not happening, but there's interesting developments with Victor Gyökeres. Not that Chelsea are going to get him, but there's a tense situation between Gyökeres and Sporting Lisbon. Tense situation between Gyökeres and Sporting, despite previous pacts for exit worth around 65 million euros with add-ons. Sporting president insists on a higher fee. Price still under 100 million euro clause, but now not 65 million euros. Gyökeres described as furious. So, I mean, I don't know why Chelsea aren't interested in Gyökeres. I don't get why they're not interested in Gyökeres. I don't get why they're not interested. But no one. No one seems to want him. The only team that seemingly has got strong links with Gyökeres is fucking Man United. Like, no one seems to want Gyökeres. And I wonder why that is, chat. I wonder why that is. It's a real strange one, but no one seems to want him. No one. Bro, we're not, yeah. And that was before, and that was before we had a wage structure in place. And that was before we started to bring things under control. You know, we're not paying those wages anymore. Those wages will be cleared off the books this summer and they will be gone. But we're in a situation, chat, where we are going to find it difficult to find, to get top strikers in, and maybe these top strikers are gonna realize as well that actually, do you know what? Clubs now aren't prepared to pay those massive wages that they would have perhaps done previously. And maybe the top players are going to have to realize that maybe we are going to have to slightly lower our demands because these top clubs are simply not going to pay us what we think we're worth or what we actually want. That could certainly be a situation we see. That could certainly be a situation we see. Because it's not just a Chelsea thing, by the way. A lot of top clubs now, chat, are not looking to pay the top wages. They're not. Yeah, no, it probably is. It probably is. It certainly seems that way. Another Kane Levy type situation, guys. Another one. Yeah, it's an odd one. It is absolutely an odd one. Oh, I bet we don't sign another striker. No, I don't think we will. But yeah, Gyökeres, I don't see us moving for Gyökeres, but obviously there are tensions right now between Sporting Lisbon and Gyökeres. And you have to say, at this point in time, Man United are the only team, are the team with the strongest links. Sure, but other teams didn't have to follow suit. Other teams are free to do whatever they want to do. Other teams don't have to copy what Chelsea are doing. And those other teams are absolutely free to follow suit and do as they wish and do as they want. You know, that's the reality here, chap. It needs to be mentally ill to sign. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously the only reason he'd probably signed for United is one, they'd give him the money. Two, he knows Ruben Amorim. You know, those are really the only reasons. But again, look, for certain players, you need to go above and beyond, no doubt about it. But in your above and beyond, there's also got to be a cut-off point as well. You can't just give them anything. There needs to be a cut-off point on your above and beyond the wage structure as well. In terms of other bits and pieces, chat, I mean, I'm going to have to round out reasonably soon because I've got to get back to work. In other bits of news, chat, there has been a couple of updates from Ben Jacobs on a stream. Actually, no. Let's start with Hugo Ekitike, chat. And I think it was from Fabrizio. Let me just quickly find it now, because the CEO of Frankfurt has been speaking about Hugo Ekitike, and he made it very clear. He's made it very clear. Let me just quickly bring it up now. Here we go. He's made it very clear. We know Chelsea are interested. We know Liverpool are interested. Eintracht director Marcus Krush says, if the price isn't right, then he will stay with us. Simple as that. Chelsea never sent any bid, only asked for conditions on the deal 2 weeks ago. Eintracht wanted 100 million euros. So, as things stand, according to Eintracht Frankfurt's director, unless someone pays 100 million euros, Frankfurt don't need to sell Ekitike, and Ekitike won't be going anywhere. Ekitike won't be going anywhere, chat. So that's it. If Chelsea want Ekitike, they have to pay that money. If Liverpool want Ekitike, they're going to have to pay that money. So right now, unless there's a change of heart later on in the window, then yeah, it's walkaway settings. It is walkaway settings for Chelsea on that one. Absolutely, we need to walk away, guys. No doubt about it. No doubt about it whatsoever. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say he's done nothing, but yeah, he's had one decent season, and that was this season just gone, guys. That was this season just gone. So yeah, as things stand, yes, Chelsea are fans of Hugo Ekitike, but it's it's one of them where Frankfurt want the money. They don't need to sell him, and they will keep him if their valuation's not matched. So yeah, the ball's back in Chelsea's court. The ball is back in Chelsea's court on that one. In terms of, there's another couple of bits and pieces, chat. In regards to Mike Mignon, Chelsea won't go back in for Mignon if Milan stick at the same price. It would have to drop. So again, Chelsea will either completely abandon their pursuit of Mike Mignon, or they will potentially maybe try and sign him as a free. Maybe they'll try and sign him on a free next year in 2026. It's entirely up to Milan now. It's entirely up to Milan. Do they think, do you know what? We'll keep him for a year. We'll let him leave on a free. He's going to help us try and qualify for the Champions League, and that Champions League money will more than cover any potential fee they'd get? Maybe that's what they're looking at. I don't know. Milan aren't in the Club World Cup, bro. Milan aren't in the Club World Cup. I don't think. Are AC Milan in the Club World Cup? I don't think they are. Who are AC? No, I don't think AC Milan are in it, guys. I've just got to double check this. No, AC Milan are not in it. Inter are in it, but AC Milan are not in the Club World Cup. Yeah, I've been told that loads. Been told that loads. Yeah. So yeah, it's very simple. It's very simple. Yeah, it's Juventus and Inter are the Italian teams in the Club World Cup. But yeah, this is very simple, chat. Very simple. Milan drop their price and Chelsea go back in, or Maignan will stay and he'll run his contract down, which he'd be more than happy to do. And maybe Milan think, do you know what? If we keep Maignan, that gives us a better chance of qualifying for the Champions League. Let's take our chances because the money will be more qualifying for the Champions League than it would be any transfer fee they'd get. So maybe that's what they're looking at. Maybe that's what they're looking at. But as things stand, Chelsea are not going back in for Maignan unless things change. Obviously, Petrovic is leaving. We should wait for Maignan next season because the price they're asking is... I don't think the price is high at all. The price is not high. £20 million is not a high price for Mike Maignan. It's not. It absolutely isn't, chat. It absolutely is not. It's not a high price at all. Not a high price. It's an absolute bargain. It's an absolute bargain. I just don't understand that people think that 20 million quid for a top-class goalkeeper is too much money. It's nonsense. I just don't understand it at all. I really don't. It's a bargain for a top-class goalkeeper. No denying it, chat. Absolutely no denying it. It's a bargain for a top-class goalkeeper. And anyone that says otherwise, I'm sorry, is just totally wrong. Completely and utterly wrong. Anyone that suggests otherwise on that. There's just no way. There's just no way, chat. Absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. I don't think so. No, it's not. It isn't at all. You know, Mason Mount went for 55 million quid with a year left. You know, 20 million is not a high price in this day and age. Regardless, bro, Isak's not available to start with. Isak is not available. Osimhen is not coming to the football club. Gyökeres, fuck knows what's happening with him. And Sesko, okay, is another player with potential. But again, a massive gamble for the price. Bro, if Delap does well next season, by the way, and he scores, let's say, 15 or 20 goals, then I look forward to your apologies in the chat. I look forward to them. Bro, that's got nothing to do with it at all. I don't understand why people keep mentioning that. Those are players that we didn't want. We didn't want Pulisic. We didn't want Tomori. We didn't want Loftus-Cheek anymore. Giroud wanted to leave. Like, Milan have got every right to ask for that money. He's their captain and their number one. Okay, it's not just a squad player who they don't want anymore. 20 million quid is fuck all for Mike Maignan. But hey, if he stays fit and we create the same amount of chances we did last year, then I would expect Delap to get 15 goals in the league minimum. He got 12 goals in a shit Ipswich team last year. I would expect Delap to get between 15 and 20 league goals next season, providing he stays fit and providing we continue to create the same amount of chances. I would absolutely expect that. No, he's not. He's not available for 120 million. Isak is not leaving Newcastle this summer. Very, very simple. They got the Champions League football and they just won a trophy. There's no need for him to leave. There's a reason why no teams are going in for Isak, because they can't afford him and they know that he's not for sale and he won't be leaving this summer. To suggest that all these teams, if Isak was genuinely available for 120 million pounds, someone would have gone for him. Someone would have gone for him if he was genuinely available for that money. Let's not make stuff up. He's not available for 120 million pounds this summer. He isn't. Because if he was, someone would have gone in for him. Bro, Teo is the same price. 19 million pounds for Teo Hernandez, 1 year left on his contract. What? 19 million would have got the deal done. 19 million would have got the deal done, I'd imagine. So the fact that Man City and Atletico Madrid can agree reasonable fees with bro, Isak is not going to Liverpool. Isak's not going to Liverpool. He's not leaving this summer. He can be linked and people can put out whatever stories they want. Isak's not going to Liverpool this summer. If you want to think that Isak's available this summer and we're choosing not to go for him, then that's fine. But Isak's not available this summer and he's not leaving Newcastle. But anyway, people can think what they want. I haven't got an issue with people thinking what they want to think. You know, people can believe whatever they want to believe. But if Isak was genuinely available for 120 million pounds, someone would be signing him. That's the only point that I'm making. I don't think they are taking the piss. I don't think they are taking the piss. But people can think what they want, chat. People can think what they want. I don't think they're taking the piss at all, and I think it's very, very reasonable. Yeah, I think they probably would. I think they probably would, providing he fitted in with the wage structure. Chelsea would find a way to get that deal. I think Chelsea would pay for him if he was genuinely available for that price. Yes, but the point is he's not. The point is he's not available for that price. But if he was, then Chelsea would have absolutely looked to have tried and got that deal done. 100%. I think they absolutely would have gone for that. What else is going on, chat? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, guys. Yeah, I'd say Isak. I would rather have Isak than Gyökeres. Yeah, I would rather have Isak than Gyökeres. Yeah, I don't mind. I think they would. I think they would. They've already shown that they pay 100 plus for Enzo. They pay 100 plus for Moises Caicedo. Chelsea would pay to be honest, transfer fees have never really been too much of an issue for Chelsea. It's always been the other stuff. It's always been the wages and whatnot. So let's wait and see. Bro, it's a long window. Long window. Right now, yeah, there's been very little on Kudus right now. Oh, no idea at all. Hopefully it's at home, but yeah, I mean, I really don't know, to be honest. I really don't know. Yeah, tricky one. I'm not too sure. Not too sure, chat. What else is going on? Yeah, this is the biggest issue, is that we've paid so much money on players who've not done well for us, or on players that aren't really good enough. And we come to signing a top-class goalkeeper, and we bottle it because we won't pay a few extra mil. Yeah, I'd absolutely take Jean-Philippe Mateta. I would absolutely take Mateta. No doubt about it. Yeah, would be a great first game. Would be a great first game. That was then, not now. I disagree. I personally think they would. I personally think they would pay that money. I really do think that, guys. I really do think that, chat. I think they would pay that money. So yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But I think they would pay that money. Mateta would be a great signing. Mateta really would be a great signing, chat. There's no doubt about it. Mateta would be a fantastic signing. Let's have it. Let's make that clear. Let's make that clear. Mateta would be a great signing, guys. But yeah, chat, I'm going to round this one out now. I've got to get back to work. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. Appreciate all of your support, guys. I'll be back again tomorrow with all the latest Chelsea transfer news. Enjoy the rest of your day. Smash those likes. Subscribe if you're new. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.